If you can hear me, say the word boner.
Boner. Boner, 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 boner.
Well, you can't hear me, so there's no point in responding. I'll just text you.
I just I just responded to you.
Oh, sorry. Well, you should open with that.
Okay.
Um,
All right. You just got me saying boner over and
maybe,
over again. Go ahead and do the intro.
dude, this is enraging.
It is. It is. Okay, go ahead and do the intro.
Hey, this is Mr. Space. We're doing a more intimate, close-up and personal podcast. This time it's just me and my good friend Gator. Uh, Today I want to talk about, the origins of Space Pumpkin. So this is a term that it's one of those things that you just kind of throw two words together and see if it sticks. I remember it's like the sound of Space Pumpkin. The reason I went with space is I've always been like very fascinated by the sci-fi genre. I'm a huge nerd for Star Wars and like Star Trek. Next Generation's really good. Deep Space Nine is all right. Everything else is kind of. But I've always been fascinated with the idea of outer space, aliens, and conspiracies. Like that's always really fascinated me. But the word bumpkin comes from a much more intimate source, and it's the time when Gator and I spent college together. And I think he says I'm the one who coined the term, but to be honest with you, I don't remember doing that at all. So how do you remember it going, Gator?
Okay, I just remembered that you would constantly call me Bumpkin. At some point, it was when we were living together, and the one time we were living together, and the thing was like there was one day on Facebook where you commented on my thing, and you said you're a good bumpkin, and I finally said I commented back, why do you keep calling me that? And then I commented, and why do I keep responding to it? And you said because you're a good bumpkin. You said because you're a good bumpkin, and I was like, oh, okay then, and it just kind of stuck. So we started calling each other bumpkin from there. Um, that's the only time I remember the first usage of the word bumpkin in our recorded history.
Well, see, because the thing for me, like I was trying to, we brought this topic to talk about earlier. Like I was thinking, well, really, what is it? Like, what's the what could have been my inspiration I drew from? And the only thing I can think of is Futurama. That one scene when Ben was like, "Shut your pumpkin, bumpkin."
Yeah, that's
Like,
probably a strong
but I don't
possibility.
know if I watched Futurama that regularly back then. You know what I mean?
I don't
But
know.
I think I always said it very French too. Like I think I was always like bumpkin.
Yeah, you did. I just remembered that. You an old
Like
bumpkin.
yeah, I remember it was like always weird. Like at the initial burst of it, you're always like, dude, like you should probably stop that. I'm like, oh, is it to make you a worried bumpkin? like, so, like I remember it wasn't cool at any point, but like I think the funniest part about it was like once people knew that we called each other bumpkin, like there'd be like some shame attached to it. Like I'd be in the center with my friends, and they'd all be hanging out like, oh, it's your bumpkin, ooh, and like they would treat it like a high school, like or a middle school girlfriend, and like I'd be like, hi, Gator, everything's like it put this like weird dynamic of a strain on our friendship. Like nothing bad, but like for a while, like there was like literal shame for using like just such a gay word, and there was no excuse for it.
It really was. And I think part of the reason it was used was I don't know. Maybe I referred to you as a bumpkin or like a country bumpkin or something because we both had different environments that we grew up in. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess calling you that is more like an ironic jam than anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like I grew up like on a goat ranch and everything, so that's my element as much as can be. Is like yeah, like I've worn overalls. I've literally owned and wore overalls. Like not in my adult life, because I don't want to get the shit kicked out of me. Like you can't wear a pair of overalls unless you're under 10 or over 50. You know what I'm talking about?
There's an age range for overalls.
Yeah, like you see like a little kid, like a little 2-year-old, like his parents put him in, like, oh, that's so cute. You see like a 17-year-old like going to school in overalls, like dude, like unless his family like made them for him specifically, like dude, kick the out of this kid. You see like a 30-year-old man like going to work in overalls, like dude, kick the out of this man. But you see like a 50-year-old dude, like he don't care anymore. Like he's just happy to put on one piece of clothing instead of two. Like good for him.
Dude,
like my granddad. My granddad wears overalls. I'm like, yeah, dude, you do you.
What about an 11-year-old that wears overalls? What, like you see an 11-year-old walking down the street wearing overalls, like what do you do then?
Oh, I mean that's pretty simple. You just like trip his feet out from under and like put his face in the pavement. Like not hard. I'm not a monster, but just let him know he's doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, like you're gonna learn your lesson one way or the other.
Oh, and don't tell him what it's about. Like let him figure it out through context clues. Like pick him up by the straps and then throw him down. Like, don't. He's like, he teary like, why? You're like, why?
Like you pick him up by the straps and hold him out in front of you, and he's just like kicking around, and you can't do anything. So you're like, yeah, you're gonna learn your lesson now, aren't you, boy?
and like you say, like you like roll back a fist to punch him and go, well, I guess overall you're pretty screwed. And you knock him out. And the only con to this whole situation I got set up, like this perfect situation, the only con is you'll be charged with assault of a minor and spend some time in prison. Like maybe a lot of time, but you've done like the right thing, and that's what's really important.
There's a price to pay for justice.
Yeah. Like you're the vigilante like Gotham is too scared of. Like the Batman won't do it. He's too soft for this kind of mess, so someone has to. If it's got to be Mr. Space, I'll step up. I'll punch that kid. There's a
hang him up on a tree by the straps of the overalls.
It's like just punching bag style. Like,
just hanging there,
dude. He's like, let me down. Like you wear stupid clothes. Like ah. Like the moment he says like, this is all my mom made for me. You're like, oh, you let him down. Like it's, give him a $50 bill. Like, oh, you just go on, kid. Like, oh.
Well, that's what you.
I think that's the only excuse. Like, but if you go back, 10, 20 years, however many, like it was like the style. Like there's a picture of my brothers and I in my house, and I'm wearing like a little shirt because I wouldn't like. Apparently, I fought overalls. Like I wouldn't wear them. Like I was anti-overall all the time, which I still hold that stance today, apparently. But there's like my brothers are both in overalls. They're 6 and 8 during the photo. I'm like, God, it just looks so punchable, dude. So, okay, here's a thought-provoking question. So there's a person you hate, right? Say this person's like me and they're 25 and you're 27. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go back in time and you see their 8-year-old self and you punch that 8-year-old. Is that a moral dilemma for you or not? Like, if you know this person becomes a jerk, is it okay to punch them?
No, because they haven't done anything.
Oh, but they will.
But they haven't. Like, you can't punch somebody for not doing anything.
Well, wouldn't you punch them and, like, never do this? Like I think I'd punch 8-year-old me. Like just to send a message. I would absolutely do that.
I don't think I'd punch them. I might be like, hey, if you ever come across this situation, like, yeah, you might want to walk away from that. If you ever come across this guy named blah blah blah, yeah, you might want to stay away from him.
But if you do that, like you have to have some sort of like fearful response or some sort of like memory, like to make it a memorable moment. Nothing makes me remember a fella like being punched by that fella. Like it's a surefire way to get your message across.
Yeah.
So maybe not punch him, like dress up in like a ghost outfit and be like, "Ooga booga booga, don't punch your friend Gator in 6th grade." Woo. You know?
Like you're just hanging outside of his window with a bed sheet over you and two holes for eyes, and like you can't, you can't just like get on a ladder and do it. So you put on overalls underneath and strap your overalls to the tree branches of the tree right next to his window, and like sing out there.
And you're back in time, so your money's no good. So you can't even afford a white sheet. You're like draped with a blue sheet over you, like navy blue.
Ooh, I am the rare blue ghost of the house. You've never seen anybody like me before. Ooh.
I, I gotta be real though. If I saw the blue ghost compared to like the spectral ghost, I'd be running, dude. Because like that, there's no recorded space of a blue ghost. That's scary. I'm out.
It's like I accidentally got thrown into the washer with the blue jeans. Ooh.
And like the pink ghost shows up with like wearing a red hat. And like, I think you know what happened to me.
And then the music starts playing and it goes to the next scene.
like flashback style. Like at this point, like you've convinced this kid never to wear overalls. So he's just like, or like the entire like experience, like the ghost puppeteering, like all this crazy happens, and like at the very end, you're like, ooh, wait, don't wear overalls. It's like a footnote and like it's like a cornucopia of crazy, and like it's just a footnote. Like they remember blue ghosts are scary. 10 years later, they know blue ghost problem, but like they don't give a about overalls. I mean, but here's the thing: like, imagine being the friend who went back in time, like when they get to their current age. Like, say you get to 27 after I went back and with you when you were 8, and I was being like blue ghost, and like ah, or the plot thickens and you're the pink ghost.
or, and then we find our friends, the orange ghost, and
and we go rolling that Pac-Man mother.
Yeah. Or the red ghost. And we go try to find a big fat guy dressed in yellow and just start like chasing him around.
After we break his legs, he's never gonna waka waka again.
We're chasing him and he turns down a dark alley, and all of a sudden, like, we all turn blue and we're like, oh crap.
Yeah. Comes out with the Glock, we're like, wow.
Yeah.
But we're spooky ghosts, so
there's a whole neighborhood full of My bad, I need to bleep that out.
This is a big moment for you, Gator. This is your first cut that moment.
Yeah.
And I feel like
dude,
you're not successful until you have a couple cut that moments.
Oh yeah, the audience is gonna be like, all 2 of our audience members are gonna be like, whoa, what just happened?
It's like, did he go to a racial place? Get Gator.
All these
like all judgmental and shit.
All these young
but then they'll go back.
People.
Then they'll go back to their rum daiquiris and won't give a shit.
Dude, Pac people all hang out in the same neighborhoods, like hanging out on the street corners, just like they don't even do anything. They're just walking down the street, up and down the street, turning the corner, walking up and down the street. All they're doing is eating. All they do is eat.
Yeah, dude, and like they do that, and they root for their favorite NFL team, the New York Giants.
And they like the LA Lakers too.
Oh,
they're like, my favorite player was Magic Johnson.
No, their favorite NFL player though is Waka Joaquin Phoenix.
That's an actor, Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, cut that. Their favorite actor is Waka Joaquin Phoenix. You know, make that funny in editing. Just take my
Yeah.
nonsense and make it funny. That's what your whole deal is. Yeah, but kind of a bit of a channel update. Pyro has like the real crunch time for school and everything. So the man I'm talking to right now, he's going to be our primary editor for a little while until the load lightens on Pyro. So if you feel there's any problem with editing at all, drop a screw you Gator in the comments.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I'm running everything from my laptop right now, which is not nearly as great as it could be if it were a desktop. So I really do need to look into getting an actual computer. But for now, this will have to
Right,
work.
but how's like? Do you like the mouse on that laptop though?
Oh, the mouse that I used
Is
to
it a
have,
good mice?
is a good mice.
That's not that's not broken in any way.
It's the mouse is sleeping with the fishes now. Give it to
Dude,
Bonham.
I'll tell you, like
Toki.
growing up in the country, the most terrifying thing I've ever seen is like I went to go fill up water for like the pasture animals. And I get out there and there's a rat just like belly up floating in the water. I'm like, that is the saddest thing I've ever seen. Like as much as I hate rats, I'm like, dude, that blows. That blows super hard. Because like I don't imagine it was like an epic thing. Like I imagine like his buddy, like who was banging his rat wife, pushed him in. He's like, Paul, no, and he's like, squeakity squeak, time to die, you geek, and just walks off. like, like I can't view it in like the scope of reality because that's too depressing. Because like the reality is like this rat was trying to get a drink of water and fell in. Depressing. But I got to view it in like soap opera terms. it's like it's like the young in the nestless. It's rats.
Oh my god.
Dude, that is C plus humor at least.
At the very least. Oh my god.
Like again, that's another segment for I'd watch that. I could totally pitch and it'd be fine.
There you go. Yeah, we need to do that segment again. But because I've
I
never been
think
asked that.
that'll be our bread and butter segment. Is that I watch that. I want to get into doing some reviews, but I'm not really sure like what what genre we should be reviewing. Because I know that oh gee, what's his handle? Uh, I know
Angel.
a couple of our guys are big, huh?
Angel.
Joel,
No, Angel.
huh? Whatever.
Angel.
Angel. There you go. There you go. I know Angel, Brownkin, and me are all pretty big into anime, so we might do some of that. But I know a lot of people like where we got some sports guys in there. We could talk about that. Oh, to take it to a sports place for a second. When you have a quarterback like Tom Brady, when you have such a good, like such a like solid, like career genius, it lets you down so much harder. So, like
Like
when I
losing
took
20
him,
points to the Chiefs.
yeah, dude, like when I took him in the draft, I was like, hey, I got this. I go sleep during the third quarter doing the game on Sunday. I'm like, I mean, I'm sure Tom will do it. Wake up the next morning, it's like 20, like 40 something to 20, 27. I'm like, what happened? like, and, and all I've seen this entire day is like just memes about the game. My favorite one I've seen so far is like it's like predictions for the 2017 year. It's like Patriots 16-0.
Yeah.
It's like circled and like smiley faces are drawn around it. I'm like, man, that's because I was worried that by becoming a Patriots fan because of Tom Brady, I was jumping on the bandwagon because I'm a fan of my fantasy player, so I want to support his team.
Yeah.
So and then like the Cowboys curse is transferred right over because the minute I started watching a game, the Patriots got smacked around. So is that on me? Like that's on me and Jerry Jones. Like that's our bad, really.
It's all your fault.
Yeah. So if you're a Patriots fan, type "screw you, Mr. Space" in the comments. And if you
and
like this episode, why don't you go ahead and like, comment, and dare I say it, go ahead and subscribe. Because now that we have a bit more time in our hands, I think there's going to be a lot more consistency to episodes coming out. So I hope that everyone's like really ready for that because we sure are. We want. I mean, we don't have like uh, insane hopes for this channel. We're not expecting it to be the next or anything silly like that. But if we can reach more people and like start turning out some gaming content too, we'd be very proud of ourselves.
I think it'd be awesome. I think me and you doing a let's play would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely want to be the one not with the controller. Like, I'd want to be the slacker of the group. Who's like, yeah, just
Yeah,
just
yeah,
throwing in like
this.
off-colored humor about the game.
Okay. Well, hey,
But
do you want to go ahead and wrap this up right now, and then if if we want to talk about if we want to talk about anything else, then we can continue on with it.
uh, all right, so let me wrap this up. Yo, 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 it's time for us to go. I hope you liked the episode. Uh, stop being a chode. Space Bumpkin out.
Bye.
All right, goodbye, everybody.